Wait, no. You got to look at the knees.
Okay.
That was
Like
worse.
elbows.
Yeah.
Like, go higher. Ready? No, wait.
Oh, you got to spin it and reverse it.
Spin it and reverse it. Ready? Ready.
Welcome to the 7 to the 60.
You are now tuned in.
Welcome to the Savage and the Sexy. It is your favorite Savage and the Sexy.
Not safe for
work nymphs. SB and K here to make your day. And I am wearing full lingerie, but there's pants on because we're trying to be functional. Woo!
We wanted to show you like different varieties of wearing lingerie in your everyday life. Maybe you want some army pants. Maybe you want some red pants. You can dress it up, dress it down. We'll do whatever you want to do with it.
Just put it on. Or maybe you want to cover it up and not show it off. That's cool too.
Yeah. Whatever you do, it's fine by me. You're looking sexy. We didn't really do a content warning, so this is it.
Fuck a content warning, but I was thinking we could probably just go back and add one in.
Twat a bad word?
Twat is totally an offensive word to some people, but not me. Twat.
Shit. Donkey dick. I don't know why I wanted to say donkey dick.
Cunt is the ultimate word to tell you that this is not an adult. Well, no, wait, sorry. This is an adult-friendly show.
And that's only because society says so, because I'm not offended by cunt.
Honestly, okay. I
never use
apologize.
it, though. No one ever uses it.
I don't really use it in my regular vernacular because I understand that some people are very offended by it. I find it a very satisfying word to say. Like,
it is
cunt.
cunt.
It just, it packs a punch.
Cunt.
Cunt.
So what is a cunt?
A pussy.
Okay, so it's just another word for pussy.
I think it's a derogatory term for a vagina or a stupid woman.
Oh, it's got to be one or the other. It's vagina or it's a stupid woman.
Or a stupid vagina.
Or stupid vagina, maybe. Vagina don't know what it's doing. What are you doing, vagina?
Now, what makes a vagina stupid?
I was going to say, no. Well, hold on. Let's explore this idea.
Uh-huh.
One that, I don't know.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
I was ready for that.
I know. I was like, I'm listening.
Okay, wait. What if
What?
your vagina was sentient and like it spoke?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you went to go have sex, it just started talking nonsense.
That would make it a cunt?
Yeah, it'd be a stupid vagina.
A stupid
which
vagina.
might equate to a cunt. Wait, hold
So
on.
you're saying if my vagina was a Karen, then I'd have justification to be like, that little cunt.
Hold on. I want to look up the actual Merriam-Webster's dictionary definition of a cunt. Please hold.
If someone asked me, what is it? I'd be like, I don't know. Well, it's
Who
offensive.
would have known we were going to open up with cunts?
You know what? You never know what to expect. I think I listened to previous episodes, and even I'm surprised at what comes out of our mouths.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Cunt.
The definition. Here we go.
Noun. Obscene.
Yes.
The female genital organs. Also, sexual intercourse with a woman. A secondary definition. Usually disparaging and obscene. Do they have a sentence? I want an example sentence. No. Wow.
I'm confused with the sexual intercourse with the woman, so I'm just like, I'm going to go
So
cunt.
it's like, I'm going to cunt a woman. Come cunt me.
But in the definition, it says with a woman, so you don't have to say that. You just be like, I want a cunt.
I want a cunt.
Oh, I want a cunt. I want a cunt, baby.
DTC.
I want a cunt. I'm down to cunt.
Down to cunt.
I'm gonna change how society uses cunt. I'm gonna be like, I'm down to cunt.
Let's punt this cunt.
Hey,
Punt it.
all you men out there, start using it. Let us know how it goes. Men are gonna get punched in the face.
You know.
I'm setting up guys getting punched in the face right now. Just start
Y'all are
using it. I
setting
want a
something up
cunt right now.
dangerous.
If there are
want
any
a cunt.
men out there and you're brave enough to get slapped in the face, let us know how
Do it
this
for the
approach
gram.
works. Do it for the gram.
But then don't sue us because we're not really encouraging you. We're saying at your own risk, you can do whatever you want.
You are an adult with your own
Make your own
autonomy.
choices. We can't make them for you.
You're not responsible for you.
Yeah. So, like, you can't blame us because you ain't us, okay?
But in all seriousness, maybe don't do that. But, like, if you want to, get back to us. If you want to, get back to us. I do really like the word, though.
I do. It just
very-
rolls off the tongue. So
It has just, like, a very, like...
I had some coffee today. You know?
The the savage and the sexy. Cunt with my tea this afternoon.
I like some cunt with my tea today. Yeah.
Honestly, that
love
sounds
that.
very nice. I would like
It does.
some
Let's
cunt
just
with my
start
tea.
changing it. What are some other words we can change? We're really starting a revolution right now.
Are there words we can change?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're cunt is universal now in our world.
Universal.
Can we change, instead of dick, can we call people members? Because it's a lot funnier. Can we call them members? It's funnier.
Members.
You heard that term, members? Like your hot, throbbing member, your rock hard member. You've never heard this term?
I never heard that. Did we discuss that? Did I forget?
I think I touched on it on a did I touch on it on a previous
There's a lot of
episode?
things I forget sometimes.
when you guys were talking about penises last episode, you're talking about small members. You called them members.
Oh, yeah, I blocked that all out. Sometimes that happens every now and then.
No, it's fine.
It's wiped
My doctor
out.
said it's okay.
Well, I didn't. Okay.
Or like, I think like, for instance, actually, you know what? I think like cock is a really satisfying word too.
Cock.
Instead
I don't
of
know if I like
dick,
it. Cock.
I like cock more than dick.
I
It
don't
sounds more like
either, really.
There's no real nice words for.
I don't really
for
like
dick.
referring to the genitals of a man. I just
What's
don't
your
care.
favorite word for man genitals that doesn't bother you? That?
I don't know.
Actually, my favorite word for a dick is chode, but not all
That's
dicks.
so funny.
Not all dicks are
Chode.
chodes, though. So I'm like,
I think
They'll
chode
start
is a
using
funny
that.
ass word.
all chodes are dicks, but not
Can
all
I
dicks
touch
are
your chode?
chodes. Can I touch?
Can I touch your chode?
Does
That's
your chode
hilarious.
stick out? Fill it
So
out.
a chode's a short, fat dick?
Yes,
Okay.
Oh.
it's like a thick, fat, short dick.
Oh, learning new things today.
Dude, that's so
It's
funny.
girthy, but it's not. It's
I
not
just call it
deep.
a penis.
I don't like that word either.
Okay. Well, I don't refer to it, so it's not like I'm ever like, show me your penis.
Can
or
I look at
show me
your
your
penis?
dick. I just say, whip it out!
Whip it.
Get it the fuck out here! I got business to do!
If
Robert.
if chode didn't mean penis, I think I'd use that word more.
Dude, I use that
because it's
word.
hilarious. It's hilarious.
Like there are so
it
many
just
chody
sounds-
things. There are so many chody things. Come
That's
on,
true.
like there are so many short, fat, girthy things.
Yeah.
Like have you ever
Like
seen?
marshmallows.
Yeah, marshmallows. They're
Marshmallows are little chodes.
chodes, man.
Chody.
Total chodes, man.
Chode.
Or like, have you ever seen like a short, fat dog? Chode.
It's a chode, yeah.
Chodelet. Or like a chodelet. I
Well, why
love the term
can't we bring
chodelet.
it back?
Chodelet.
Chode-
Who tells us we can't? We're doing it. You can't stop us.
So your vocabulary words for this week are cunt, chode,
Chode.
and member. Have
Member.
fun.
Who brought the sauce?
I got the sauce.
In the members club.
Bonus points if you send us a paragraph using all of the words in one.
Yes, there will be a quiz, so study up.
The savage and the sexy.
Oh, I love it.
We started on a very...
Yeah, we started really
I guess
great,
we're
like-
continuing the sex episode.
Not necessarily. Sometimes we could just drive by it, be
Have a
in
little
the
quickie,
neighborhood for
have
a little
quickie.
bit. Yeah, maybe
and
we're
out.
just dropping off some mail. We're not staying for the barbecue.
No.
We just had something to drop off. We're just driving on by, seeing the welcome sign. Oh.
What? Is that a new drop?
How's your week?
My week is actually very good. I've been very busy.
You have been really busy.
yeah,
it's really
I've
exciting.
Been really busy, and I'm feeling the anxiety of being busy again. Are you okay?
Yeah, sometimes I twitch.
Okay, cool. I get chills sometimes. But also feeling the anxiety of getting busier. So also trying, but also the anxiety and stress of COVID. Because like I work at a art school. So like the first week of classes got canceled, which is kind of a bummer because I want to make that money. And if I'm not in class, I don't make the money. So it's like, yeah, but I'm actually I feel, even though January is the first month of the year, I feel like it's like I already feel like it's an amazing year. Honestly.
It started off at a really good
Had some great, already like really amazing experiences and like more to come for this month. So I'm like, all right, like strong start.
I feel like all the manifesting has been working, and whether it's things actually coming back or just changing my mindset, I feel like I'm open to new opportunities, letting opportunities come to me. I feel the stress in a different way. It's like gonna sound weird, but you know when there's like too many opportunities?
Yeah.
There's just a lot that
You're overwhelmed.
I'm like, okay, which direction should I go in?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit getting to that cups of that. There's been doors opening and the music side, doors opening in the acting side, like doors opening, like getting a chance to work with the city. It's like a bunch of things. I'm like, okay, either I try to do it all or I could choose one thing or see what feels right. So I'm kind of like, well, we'll just see, put a little bit of everything out there and see what comes back.
Yeah.
So it's kind of exciting to see it happen. But I'm so used to, with COVID as well, it's like our schedules get busy, but over the winter it's kind of hit a lull.
Yeah.
So like we're still quote unquote busy, but it hasn't been overwhelming. And now I'm like, oh shit, things are like picking up again.
Yeah.
That's what this feels like.
Yeah.
I forgot. I almost forgot what it felt like
just
because
like
we had a month or so of like,
Yeah.
I have 10 things to do. One meeting turned into 4 meetings and I haven't stopped working and it's 8 p.m. Then I haven't made dinner. That's great.
Yeah.
I love it. And I'm going to keep going. Or casually make 10 songs in a day. Cool.
I fucking love you. You don't know how much I love it when you send me a snap of you like.
I feel bad.
Snapping.
I'm glad you're telling me you like it because you're the only person I can send it to that like understands. I'm like,
No, because I understand.
Oh my God, Mom, like, look, and it's like every 5 seconds I'm sending
Especially
you
because
something.
you just got into it, so I understand the feeling of like, oh, this is something new and it's fucking
exciting.
awesome. So
I get so turned on and super excited when I'm learning something new.
Yeah.
And I get to understand that world and not just about it, but all the nuances that go into it.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, it's Photoshop, but for music. And I'm just like,
I mean, you guys both
great.
saw a little bit of like what goes into it. We made a song.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should talk about that because that was honestly
we made a song.
Oh,
such
actually,
a magical
Can
experience.
you,
We're
like,
gonna
turn
drop
your
it.
microphone a little bit.
Me?
Yeah.
We're gonna drop it.
Sort of, not really.
Is this good?
No.
No, what do I do?
I'm gonna jump in.
Baldwin's got a guest star for
hi
5
to the
seconds.
camera!
Yeah.
While he's doing that, if you
Baldwin
haven't
ever
subscribed to
showed
us on
his face on this show?
YouTube and
people
Instagram and
seen
Apple
your face on this
Podcasts and
show?
Spotify and all of the
Really?
above,
There he
please do it
goes.
now. You can see this on YouTube and Patreon. It's so exciting and we have much more to go, so just do it.
So yeah, well, that was really fun recording with y'all, and I appreciate how patient you guys were because it is a long process, and that was actually a lot smoother than I would have imagined because that was your
Really?
first song, like recording your first. Well, I know Steph, you've been warmed up to it, but the fact that you guys were that patient and like you guys trusted me.
How long does
cool.
it usually, like your average song, how long does it usually take you to just get that first phase of the raw, full?
So it ranges.
beginning?
It's like a really wide range. I can finish a song in one night. I can finish a song 3 weeks. It could take me a month to finish one song. It all depends because I'm very. It has to feel right.
Yeah.
If it doesn't feel right, then the song's not finished.
Yeah.
Is it very
The song can be, in a technical aspect, it can be finished.
Yeah.
Somebody once told me like a song's never finished.
Yeah. You're
never
always
really
going to think of
finished.
something.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know we had talked about this with painting where it's like you almost can overdo it.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel that where you're just like,
Hell
I have
yeah.
to go back? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you can fall into a rabbit hole, especially when you get into like mixing the song. There's one thing writing the song, but once you're mixing it and you're trying to have it sound a certain way, it can really like turn into a rabbit hole because there's no wrong way to do it. So that's why it could really fuck with your head. It can actually fuck with your head if you're in there for too long.
There's
in
so
the
many
box.
options. I already feel that sometimes. I'm like, I can go this way or that way or this way. I'm like, I don't know. You tell me what's right. But like, I feel like that's a lot of almost everything where you're creating or you're making something and you can almost do too much and it's never going to feel finished, but sometimes you need to be like, okay, this is where it's at its best, and if I do more to it, it's just going to get worse. So
it is a very techie thing, but there's so much feeling involved. So it's really cool. And I think that's like amazing.
Dude, it was such like
was so fun.
that was literally like one of my most precious memories. So
Oh, really? Hey, that's fine.
memories.
Glad to be a part of that.
and it
That
wasn't
was a lot
planned.
of fun.
It wasn't planned either.
And I think that
Like it was
even
so
better.
spontaneous.
Like, it wasn't like, oh, we're gonna do this. It was just
Yeah.
like, hey, you want to fuck around?
The vibe was right. It was a vibe.
Yeah,
A vibe. So maybe we will drop our. We should debut it on the podcast, like where we play it out loud for the public for the first time.
Yeah,
We
whenever
can
y'all
play it at
want.
the end of this episode. Stick around.
Mm.
We'll play the song for you.
Ooh.
And you can tell us what you think. DM us. Email us at thesavageandsexy@gmail.com and tell us what you think.
If you want to sign us to your record label, that's cool too.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take that too. Or if you want to direct our music video and like really help us
that
out,
too.
really help us, like it'd be kind of cool. Yeah. We're becoming a band.
No, that'd be fun getting a music video going.
It would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love visuals. I love seeing it in my head. Like when you listen to music and you like create this
Mm-hmm.
world of what it would be, and then you could get the actual video, and does it live up to what you had it at? Is it worse? Is it better?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So many unknowns.
And it'll be fun to make.
Yeah, I've been in a few music videos, but I've never made
So
one for
cool
myself.
too. So cool. I've been in one. So cool.
Oh, I saw that. That was awesome. That's a nice song too.
Yeah, honestly, I
That was
fucking love
dope.
that song.
Yeah, it's a dope
Brent
song.
Julian, shout out Brent Julian. Check him out. Ride the Wave. Find it on YouTube. It's actually a fucking awesome song, and I'm in the video. So like,
Yeah,
check
no,
us
shout
out.
out that whole crew. They be doing their thing. What's it?
Yeah, is it is it My Favorite Color or something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. I don't want to butcher the name, but
No, you can cut this out of. I think it's my I think it's something like My Favorite Color.
yeah.
Just
but
please cut this if I got it wrong.
No, but shout out to them. They're doing their thing.
Nice.
I'm curious.
Yeah, it's fun. I love being on set. That creative aspect of it, helping someone bring their vision to life is always great.
Your music videos are dope that you've been in.
Yeah, I'm always dancing. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah,
your-
I
I'm sorry,
saw
it's
the
your
one that you were
favorite color.
featured on. That song was
one?
wicked dope too.
Yeah. With
who
Mophius?
was that?
Is it the one with Mophius? Where she's
Oh, yeah,
in
you've
yellow?
been in multiple ones.
I've
Yeah,
done
you're in
it.
yellow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was directed and put together by
Francesco.
Yeah, so that was a really fun one. That
One of
was
our
like
friends.
full
Mhm.
day of production. I've felt really glorious. And
Yeah.
it was like so much fun. Everyone usually on set is really great, and I mean it's a long day. You're doing a lot of the stuff, but when you finally get to see it put together, it's exciting to see it and be like, oh, there's me. Even if it's just for like a couple of seconds.
No, it's so
super
cool.
cool. That video was awesome.
Yeah.
Both videos you guys were featured on were dope. Y'all killed it.
So
that one was
blessed.
called, like,
This year, her and I are manifesting more, like being in front of the camera more in like a filming sense. So like, you'll see us soon.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Steph, you mentioned acting.
Yeah, well, Amanda put me on.
Oh.
Oh, both of
Dang.
y'all.
We don't have to
acting.
actually drop it, but I know Amanda's been trying to open up her doors.
Yes, I've been
and do more work.
Actually, I can put this out there. This was something very exciting for me, but I didn't end up getting it. But I still am very excited about it because to me it means something substantial. But I've been applying for like castings for commercials and stuff like that in movies and shit. And a week and a half ago, I got a call back to potentially get casted in a Mohegan Sun commercial. And they were like, we reviewed your portfolio. We really liked your stuff. Like, so like you're in like the final selection pool. We'll call you back. Like if you end up getting casted. I didn't get casted, which is fine. But the fact that like I've only been applying to these things for like a week and I already got a call back for like a major thing, like that felt like a big win to me, even though I didn't get it. So I'm like,
Hell
it's
yeah.
only a matter of fucking time until I end up on a commercial somewhere or you see my face somewhere on something. So like,
It's fun.
it was just like, it was very validating to get that
when
call
they
back.
was it just a call or
They literally called me.
it was just a call?
They
Okay,
called.
that's
Yeah,
how you-
I put in my application on casting networks,
yeah.
and then they called me back, and it was because all these turnaround times are pretty quick. Like I think I applied 5 days before the shoot, and then they called me 3 days before, and they were like, we'll let you know in the next 2 days if they end up picking you. And like realistically, like I think the reason they didn't pick me is because there were probably other people in the pool that had more video work than I do, which is fine. But like, and I get that, so like I'm gonna get more video work, but I'm like,
And that's like you're just starting off. Like I know they have to be like,
Yeah.
oh, some of them the posts will say like, oh, they want a little bit more experience, but then some of them are just like, we're open to
Yeah,
anyone,
yeah,
and if you have the right look. And, you know, they might be able to do that. So what I did yesterday, which was it's funny because I do love acting and like being weird. I mean, you guys see
Yeah,
when I
I was
go
gonna
on
say
reels, like I
definitely.
go ham. But then having to actually like look up a monologue or something and like
It's
film
totally
myself
different.
and want to do it, like it just felt interesting. I felt like I was overacting, but then when I look at it, I'm like, I'm
You're
not doing
not.
it enough.
Yeah.
So I took some time yesterday just to do a couple of monologues so that I could send that to be like, here's me in front of the screen. Because when I looked at it, I'm like, oh, send a video if you have it. I'm like, oh, I don't have any videos.
Yeah, so you just took some. I need to do that this week.
Behind the scenes stuff. And I was like, that doesn't show my acting stuff unless you look on my Instagram. But not a lot of them will do that. So I was like, maybe I should have something that just is me being
acting.
A character, just doing something as simple as like more commercial or more silly. So it was very interesting to like do that at home and like self do it. And I'm like, okay. And I was looking up like acting reels. How do you do that? What should be in it? What should do that? I'm like, okay, like at least this is me semi putting myself in front of it so that they can see that a little bit more. But I think that would definitely help because then they could see like, oh yeah, she's got it. Even though it's not experience from work, like we see that she
because that still counts because like I know that you would still send that in your reel for acting auditions. Like you have a reel where it's like monologues and little clips and stuff like that. So like monologues count. Yeah. So like that's something that I would like to do maybe in the next 2 weeks or so is get some more like actual because you know you have like a video portfolio on Casting Network. I want to get more videos up there. But it's just something like I almost went to school for musical theater, so it's like really cool to accidentally stumble back into it without forcing it. Like I'm really not pushing it too hard. I'm just like, let's just put it out there and like the thought of it's really fun and like I really miss doing this, but like I'm not going to push it too hard and like I'm not going to attach to like I remember in the past, like, being rejected from Mohegan Suns might have been really disappointing to me, but I was like, the fact that I still am like, no, that was a win. The fact that I even got called back was
of those people. Like, if you had never put your hat in the ring, you would never even got a call back. So it's just like, I'm putting myself out there and there's going to be a bunch of no's, but one day there will be a yes.
Exactly. Like, I'm just like, one day, and that's when it's only a matter of time. Like, if I got a call back like this soon for like a major brand, like, it's only a matter of time.
People don't realize that, like, when you're, like, I don't know. I think there's always a misconception. I think even just with modeling in general, like, oh, you're a model. That means you just like get jobs and you like show up. It's like, no, you're actually putting in work. It's staying up late. It's getting up super early to get to gigs.
Networking, it's emailing,
back
messaging.
To back. It's all of these things to like get those few opportunities. Yeah. So like it's very similar with acting and stuff. Like we're gonna have to literally have like 100 things before you get like maybe 2 back.
Yeah,
and be working and actively engaging for it.
Yeah,
which is interesting. But I was searching around, obviously around Boston, Providence area, but just looking at like what LA looks like, which I knew people already said like if you're trying to make it as these people in New York and LA are the places to go. And yeah, there was a lot more options,
obviously,
to do, which was like, oh great, but like. Also, I'm like, I don't really want to live there.
Not yet, yeah.
But for the right role, I would go there.
Yeah, exactly,
So I could see it being a little easier if you were, you know, a local in New York. You could do a lot more of those one-off ones that don't pay as much, but still gets you out there.
Yeah.
It's not really worth it when you have to drive 4 hours. So it's like...
It's one of those things where like I would like a few opportunities where I could more so just to go like touch down and meet people there. Like if I got like a gig that was not necessarily worth the money, but it would be worth the connection to like go there and meet whoever I'm going to meet and then be like, okay, I have people in New York that I know, that I've worked with, that know me, and like that could lead somewhere. Like it's like to me it's just like creating possibility. The more people I meet, the more things I do, like there's more that just breeds possibility, that creates more avenues that will potentially come back to me to give me what I'm looking for to get me to where I want to go. So it's like I'm on the New York spectrum, but I'm like very selective about what I apply to because I'm like if I get it, I'm going to travel to get there, and I might not get
spend the time there to also do other things and connect. I think I feel the same with LA. It's been a lot of people I've been connecting with out there, photographers and just creatives. And it's like, awesome. When are you coming out? When are you coming out? It's like, you're like, well, it needs to be worth me going out because, that is
fly savage and sexy out, please.
So, like, I still keep it on my spectrum to be like, okay, if there's something that says that they'll film for at least 2 days.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
worth
decent pay.
Yeah.
That at least it will cover my flight.
Yeah.
Then I'll do it because then I'm like, I'll stay for a week. I'll work with X, Y, and Z. Yeah. Network a little bit more, and it gives me a reason to kind of go out there and not feel like it's just a whole feel like I'm balancing out at least. Like, I don't even need to make money, it just needs to zero
you just need to you can't be spending too much to get there, and and that's the thing, it's like you kind of all of this stuff is like very investing based. It's like, okay, like I've had multiple people ask me like, oh, like you're a model, like, so like how much do you make? Like, do you break even? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't always break even. Like that's not necessarily always the goal. It's like sometimes you have to pay to invest in yourself, and you're going to pay in a lot of that can look a lot of different ways, like flying to LA, because it's worth it to, everything kind of neutralizes out monetarily. But you get to LA and then you make all these connections that give you more money and give you more opportunities. And like sometimes like you invest and like you can't really see where it leads until you've already like bitten the bullet and just like, and sometimes it doesn't work. Like maybe casting network won't bring anything, but like I'm willing to take that gamble and pay like however much a month it is to like give myself the potential opportunity to get there.
Yeah, it is. It's always a gamble, but it's worth investing in yourself the same way you invest in all your other things that bring you pleasure. Like, why not do it for yourself?
It's like people like will spend money on like expensive dinners and lots of alcohol and vacations and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, but like, how is it any different? Like, if I have a goal and I have a desire, like, why is it any lesser for me to invest in that instead of like going out to dinner or like paying for, you know what I mean?
Spending money. I'm so over fucking dinners. I love food. Don't get me wrong. People want to take me out. Great. I love cooking food. I love eating food, most importantly. But the whole go to dinner to celebrate something, fuck no.
Fuck it.
Let's go to a fucking island. Like, let's do an adventure. Let's go axe throwing. Let's do something else that isn't, I'm going to sit here and spend $80.
Give me an experience.
To celebrate your fucking birthday.
Give me an experience that's just not eating food, like stuffing my face.
Like, we eat food every day. That's not anything special. Like, let's invest in something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel that. I feel that a lot.
Yeah. It's just
like, no.
It's just like, it's like people like will judge what people spend money on, but it's like, you know,
you gotta do what's right for you.
Yeah,
too.
and
like
you
not
gotta,
everyone's gonna like what you spend money on, and fuck it.
I'd rather just give myself opportunities and like focus on the things that I love, and like eventually, like it'll like, and that's like I do all of this because it's gonna pay off eventually, and I genuinely love doing it. Like I love being here. Every time I shoot, I love to. I like live to shoot. Like I love being on. I love working with people. I love collaborating. Like it's just like it's such like a voracious desire. So like for me, it's just like it's a no brainer. Like obviously I'm going to spend the money and obviously I'm going to invest in this because like I'm so determined to like keep integrating this into my life and do it as often as I can. And like I'm making more money than I ever have doing it now. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm just going to keep sticking to my guns. And like I feel like that's, at least for me, like to get like a little bit more deep, like really the only goal is just to don't quit. Like no matter how defeated I get or how upset I get or how like, oh, it's not going to work, how hopeless I feel, or it's like, just don't let your brain stop you. Like don't let my brain talk me out of or convince me that this isn't the right thing for me, or like, oh, there's better things I could be doing with my time, or oh, it's not for you, or fuck that. Like, I don't care. Like, my only goal is just to not let my attitude get in the way of something eventually happening. Because to me, I believe something will eventually happen because I keep trying. And like the numbers game dictates, like, if you keep putting it out there, eventually something has to come back. So I'm just waiting for that something.
I do a lot of things and I have a lot of talents, which is great, but there's no like, in a sense, there's no fallback for me. It's not like if I go back to corporate or working the 9 to 5, like I'm still going to be miserable. So it's not like, oh, this isn't cut out for you. I guess something else is going to make you happy. No, this is going to make me happy. And when I personally talk about something coming back, it's not necessarily like suddenly I'm going to be famous or suddenly I'm going to be known. It's like, I just want to know that I'm doing enough that's making me happy and that I'm getting a result and making the connections I want to make. Yeah. Because I know I'm not going to, well, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe I will be rich or whatever, or wealthy or famous. I don't know. But that's not necessarily the end goal. Right. The end goal is like, I want to be happy and continue living my life the way I want to live it, and know that I'm still able to provide for myself and the people that I love. So that's the sense. That's the goal. Again, going back to like, what's your version of success or whatever it is. So I think even if I feel still low, I don't think they'd be enough unless someone literally, well, even if they cut off my legs, they could be like, I'm still going to want to do this. I'm still going to want to dance in the rain. Just, use my arms instead, and that's it.
Just like, to piggyback off that, I think everything that we do, everybody in this room, what we're doing right now is something that we'd be doing anyways.
Yeah, exactly. So literally, exactly.
That's the one thing I always think about.
How much time to put into it, and how much like investment to put into it.
Because that's how much you love it so much, you're not going to do it. It's like even before I was a model, like, I know people are going to judge me saying this, but like I would go to the gym and like work out. I would spend like 30 to 45 minutes taking selfies after, because I fucking loved posing. I loved I always loved taking good pictures. And obviously a lot of people love that. But like, I remember when I had like my old Canon, I would like do like weird face makeup and take like really emotional portraits and stuff. Like I've always loved doing that before I gave myself permission to do it like professionally.
Yep.
And I'm like, I would do this I will find ways to do this whether I realize it or not. Like I was doing this before I realized I was doing it. And now I'm just like, I fucking want to do this. And like, it's what you were saying. It's really awesome to just be like, I just want to know that like I'm making an impact or like what I'm doing is substantial. And the way that I know that is like people come and they want to work with me or people want to connect with you. People want to, they see what you're doing and they're like, I see it. I resonate. It's vibing. Like, let's like join force. Just like this is how this fucking podcast happens. It's just so it's like, I guess like I like the way that you phrased that was like, okay, like maybe it's not about being rich. It's not even necessarily about being like, I don't even necessarily know what my top goal is. I just know that I want to keep doing this and get paid and make more money to do it. And like, and I want to be happy doing it. So if it's like getting commercial jobs, if it's doing private things with other people, whatever, like I'm open to the way the universe manifests that for me. But I'm like, this is what I want to do. I'm already doing it. Just keep letting me do it and make it better, make it bigger, give me more people, bigger productions. Like I just feel like I just want to know that like I'm making an impact or like what I'm doing is substantial. And the way that I know that is like people come and they want to work with me or people want to connect with you. People want to, they see what you're doing and they're like, I see it. I resonate. It's vibing. Like, let's like join force. Like, just like this is how this fucking podcast happens. It's just funny. So it's like, I guess like, I like the way that you phrased that was like, okay, like maybe it's not about being rich. It's not even necessarily about being like, I don't even necessarily know what my top goal is. I just know that I want to keep doing this and get paid and make more money to do it. And like, and I want to be happy doing it. So if it's like getting commercial jobs, if it's doing private things with other people, whatever, like I'm open to the way the universe manifests that for me. But I'm like, this is what I want to do. I'm already doing it. Just keep letting me do it and make it better, make it bigger, give me more people, bigger productions. Like, I just love seeing the actual physical manifestation of like the energy that you put out coming back to you in the form of like people that want to do what you want to do and are like, yeah, let's go.
And I've always felt myself as like a jack of all trades or a jack of many trades. Yeah. And I think when I first kind of started doing photography, I had this mindset of what that needed to look like, even though it was already such a big jump to go like, oh, you're going from a 9 to 5, now you're doing photography. Well, now you need to be just doing that and succeeding in that. But I'm like, I love doing so many things. And so like being able to shoehole yourself is, act or sing or be a podcast or be a dance teacher, like all of that. Like I'm finding myself being like, all of these pieces make my whole. Yeah. And like just the fact that like I still have some of my formal dance students reach out randomly, like, I heard this song, it reminds me of you, I miss you so much, or I made this dance, or I made this thing. Like, I know I made an impact on a young person's life that they can then turn into something good, which is really exciting to see. And I want to keep doing that, whether that's with like summer camp. Like I would have never guessed that my photography career would be like teaching kids photography. Like I never even pictured myself being a teacher. Right. But like that's just kind of how the universe turns into it, because I do love passing on the knowledge. I love learning new things and being able to teach someone else new things is really amazing. And I love kind of looking at my life now and seeing that all of these pieces make up who I am. And it's not just one thing. Yeah. I mean, we kind of talked about that where it's like, oh, I'm not just a photographer. I'm this X, Y, and Z. For photography, I haven't taken a creative picture in a really long time. If you go on my Instagram, there's like none. I've been doing work stuff like here and there and working with the city of Boston, which has been great. But it hasn't been like where I would see myself a few years back when I was defining what that needed to be for myself. Yeah. But I'm excited that I'm getting more modeling things or that I have the opportunity to even put my name in the poll for acting. Yeah. Like, I would have never really thought that I could. It's like to be here now doing this. Yeah. Is like, no, for sure. Like it's like being grateful for what you have and then being able to be like, I can do even more and I can give myself the luxury of knowing I'm worth the investment. I sound like a broken record, but that's every single, I'm not even kidding. Like
every single day. I love Instagram. I love social media. And every single day I'm on my Instagram. I love posting. I love sharing on my story. I love doing all that shit. Because like every time I'm on it, I'm like always grateful that I even have it at all, because our Instagrams are contingent on other people working with, like, you know what, and I'm like, the fact that like I have an Instagram that's all pictures of me and the work that I do, and people come and they find it and they want to work with me, and then they want to post pictures of me, and then they, and
it's so many different aspects, so many different opportunities, so many different people you can work with, and I'm like, here you go. Now I'm doing this. Hey, I'm doing that. Hey, I'm doing this.
And like they want to work, like it's completely. Like, I guess it's surprising. Like, I don't know why, but I'm still very surprised these days that, like, I think maybe I'm still building up my perception. Like, I know I love myself and stuff like that, but I think I still think a little less of myself because it still continually amazes
There's always
me.
that thing in the back of your mind. I love dancing, and I think it's great. I know that I'm a good dancer.
Yeah.
But it still always surprises me a little bit when someone's like, I love watching you dance.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's like, wait, what? Like, you just want to watch me dance? It doesn't, like, I literally posted something that I was just like, oh, this is kind of funny. I'm just like, me dancing around in Tiffany's kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
I was just like, whatever.
That was
I had
so
one
fun.
person, I was wearing Embody.
Yeah.
I do a lot of product stuff for them. I love their jumpsuits and stuff. It's great. You should check them out. They're great. I had the marketing director of that. They're like, I love this video. Can you send it to me so we can repost it? And I was like, I look like a fool, but sure. And then had someone else that's just like, I love watching you dance. Like, it's so like hypnotic. Like, I can watch you dance forever. And I'm just like, I'm fucking around.
I do agree. It's very awesome to watch you dance.
But
Yeah, it is dope.
It is. Mm-hmm.
I can't wrap my mind around that.
You're not supposed to. Just do your thing.
It's great. Like, I'm going to do it regardless, but it's just like, it's still so shocking to be like, I know, I see what they're saying. I know that I'm good. I enjoy it. I think they see the joy behind me just being able to move.
Yeah.
But like, I just can't wrap it around. I'm just like, but why?
see, I think that, I think that inability to see is to see it clearly, the way that like, you understand, but you still can't see it. Like, I think that is part of what makes it so mesmerizing. Because like, think about it this way. Like, if a woman knows that men are looking at her and find her attractive, she's going to act differently than if she just loves to dance or like loves to be herself. So I think you not knowing is integral to like, integral to that attraction. Okay. Yeah, to that, you know what I mean? Like, or like the way that I picture is like, I don't know if you're familiar with Greco-Roman mythology. Like, I think of like, you know, young men that are walking through the woods and like they peek through the branches and they find nymphs just bathing, and like they don't disturb them. They just watch them, because if they know that they're being watched, they're not going to have that beautiful, alluring, hypnotic, natural energy. It's going to change. So like, I think it's very important that you don't try to understand. That you just let it be this
Dance
thing.
like no one's watching.
Literally, yeah, because that's where like the energy like really, where it really becomes impactful, because it is really awesome to just, I love just like watching you dance. Or like, you know what I think of? Remember when we shot Ryan Liu's photography, shout out. Remember when we did that?
Yeah,
I remember I recorded that video of you that silhouette video of you dance. I think about that all the time. Because it was so mesmerizing and magical to watch. Yeah, and you don't even know. So like, but you're not supposed to. So like, but it's like that's the thing that really, and I guess like you could say that with me about modeling is like people comment on like my posing and like how they like how I move and like I know how I look. I like how I look and stuff, but it's still.
I love it. Like when I see, I'm like, that's awesome.
Even you saying that the other day, I was like, that's so funny because like she's like my favorite model, and I think she's like so much better than me.
I use joyful jealousy all the time now. I'm like, I'm joyfully jealous. I'm joyfully jealous. I'm joyfully jealous. And she's like, I'm like, am I using this too much? Because
say it with me.
All I want
joyful jealous. Joyful jealous. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, it could be like it could be like friendly competition too.
No, I mean, I think they're always
that's kind of like falls into the same place.
Yeah, it's like I don't even want to say like competition, because one of those things where it's like
great,
because there's more than enough work. Like there's, and if anything, like I want to do, like I have a dream of doing stuff like with you. Like to me, that would be like the ultimate. Is if like, oh, we got cast on the same commercial. Fuck yeah! like that, or like even the first date, like the first time that like we really shot together, like we were at that bridal shoot, and like I didn't even know that you were gonna be there, and like I love that you were there. Like so, it's just like there is like a little bit of like I feel like there's always a little bit of, but I don't even want to say it's you like constantly light a fire fire under my ass. Because like I don't want to be better than you. I want to be I want us to be as good as the other and
it's
have
almost like
plenty of opportunities.
Like when I see you do things that I'm like so excited to see, I'm like, I want to be able to like
more.
pull. I was like, yeah, let's fucking go.
Because it's like it's not that it's not even that I want that opportunity. Like maybe I do, but it's like I want opportunities like that. I want to feel that way too. Like it's not like I want this and she has it. It's like I want to be on that level. I want to be doing things together. I want to be working as often as she is. I want to be creating good work. I want to be as excited.
I want to be working as often and being able to like that grind. Oh, I love it.
Because it's not realistic. Like to me, it's not. It makes no sense to be like, oh my God, like she's getting more work than me and blah, blah, blah. Like it's never been like she shouldn't get work and for any model, it's never been like that. It's always been like, oh, if this model can get work, then I can too. If this model can go do that and I am recognizing that I'm jealous and I want to do that, I can do that too. Like to me, it's like this liberation thing where instead of like, why not me? It's like, no, I know I can do that too. And now like seeing this, I might feel a little bit of jealousy, but I feel insanely motivated to prove to myself that I can do this too.
I can do this.
Yeah.
Instead of why not me, like I can fucking do this.
Because it's not about the other person not having. I want the other person to have opportunity. In fact, them having opportunities is contingent on my motivation. Like you need to continue getting opportunities to motivate me, just like I need to continue getting them to motivate you. Like we're synergistically working off of each other.
It almost opens the door. I'm like, okay, I know that I can do it. There's work to be done. There's things to do. But yeah, going back to like us being able to work together is like really
that's
what I'm
the dream.
pushing on.
That's
like,
the dream.
I think every second I'm just like, so we're gonna do this together. We're gonna do savages sexy
so
content.
Like,
okay, so
if
we're
you
gonna
hire
do that.
her, you hire me.
So like, can we do it together? Like yes.
That's because like my favorite memories are like working on set and on shoots with people. Like I love shooting by myself, but it's always so much more fun. Like I have fun anyway, but like when you're there or like when Abby's there or like when I'm with some friends and we get to work and vibe and be fucking bougie and fun and look hot all together.
There's such a different element with someone else.
Yeah.
And I love working on my own, which is great.
Same.
I do have a lot of stuff with just myself and that's fine. But I think when I'm working with someone else, it pushes you in a different way to like, okay, how do we both exceed and make this even more dynamic than it already is. And then you get to work with someone you really like, or even if it's working with someone you don't really know, but it still has another layer to it, which is really exciting.
You still bounce and vibe, and it's just like, I don't know, I like that we're talking about jealousy again, just because I think it's like really important, because I feel like a lot of people deal with it all the time, but like the way that you look at it and the way you utilize it is so important, because it's like, I like fuck people that say, oh, I'm not jealous, I'm never jealous. Oh,
yeah, you are, man.
Fuck that. If you're alive, you're jealous of somebody. I'm sorry. Like, you're not above jealous. Or for people to be like, oh, I would never be jealous. Like, I'm so above that. We're fucking human. You're not above anything. We're all on the same fucking level.
Like,
yeah,
like you guys are talking about, like bringing the best out of each other because of the jealousy. If that's what you're using that jealously for, then that's healthy.
Like, it's
and that's
necessary.
Yeah.
Like, it's like they all those emotions need each other. They work off each other, and it's like your perception is so like I could just like get jealous and be like, oh, I don't want opportunities for her. Her having opportunities means that they're taken away from me. That's not fucking true, because you know how many fucking people there are in this world looking for models, that's why I'm like, it's not like there is more than enough work for everybody. Or like, you know what I've recently been thinking a lot? Like I keep thinking like I'm gonna go to the fucking top and drag everybody that I love fucking with me, like, because I know that there's so much room there's opportunities, like,
let's go.
I want to be at the top by myself. I want to be at the top with like other people that are at the top with me, where we can fucking where we can be happy, like, and we, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, what's the point of being at the fucking top if like everybody is mad at you, hates you, or jealous, or is jealous of it, or you become an other? Like, no, like I want to be at the top with like people that I know are driven, that I'm friends with, that I'm already
there's a real connection. There is a back and forth. Like, I'm not taking no groupies.
No,
with me, it's like people that you know, that, because again, a lot of these, like, people get misconstrued with like songs or whatever. It's like, I'm gonna make it on my own. I got here by myself. Nobody gets there by their fucking self.
No, you fucking did it.
There's always someone else who gave you a chance, regardless if it's like, if you're singing, a record label gave you a chance. That's not you making it on your own.
Chose to listen to you,
people
or like,
who are handing off your thing, whatever it is with your modeling, there's a photographer, there's a company that believed in you that then helped excel you to where you are.
There's makeup artists that Tiffany that like fucking do and supply, like, and that's like to circle back, like the initial point that I kind of wanted to make is like my Instagram is a representation of
all of those people.
All of like the people that have believed in me, that have given me opportunities, that have seen me and seen in myself what I couldn't see in myself. It's connected me to you. It's connected me to literally like the wholesome like things that I treasure so deeply now. And I'm like, every time I'm on my Instagram looking at my portfolio, like I'm like, I feel such immense gratitude that like I've had this many people that gave me a chance, that continue to give me a chance, that want to work with me again, that have nice things to say about me, that like compliment me and lift me up, and like my Instagram and I am here because of other people giving me a chance.
Yep.
And I'm like every single day, like, and I sound like a broken record, but that's what, if you go on my Instagram, like I feel like every other post, I'm like, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. But I'm like, I literally don't know what else to say besides I'm so
for you
grateful.
to take that time.
Yeah,
and honestly, the shoots that have so many different creatives in it. Like, it's great when it's like, okay, I took self-portrait. That's a great photo, or me and someone else. But when I'm able to be like, this person did my hair, this person did my makeup, this person did my wardrobe, this person did my nails, this person did the flowers, this person was behind the scenes. Like, all these little things, like, you get to see that. And then your portfolio is like, you're showcasing all these different talents and all these different creative people and all these different local people or people all over the world. Like, that's why I love it, and that's why I feel like this show has been one of the things we wanted to start, is be able to talk about all those people, because you don't always hear about them, and I love that my portfolio can then showcase them. Yeah. People are like, oh, I really need someone to like do hair. It's like, you can go to my profile and see 5 different people that do hair, or 10 different people that do makeup, and look at it that way, or whatever, or vice versa, or that does event planning, or whatever it is. And it's so exciting to see that versus just like, here's a picture of me, and then that's
it's like, and as much as I love self-portrait photography, and like as someone that really, I really
want to get better.
No, it's one of my goals this year is to become a self-portrait photographer. It's in the works right now. But even that being said, like, as someone that like is an introvert and is very like independent, like I used to be very like, I'm doing everything on my own. I'm not asking for help. And like now I'm like in this stage of life where I'm like I'm here, like I'm able to do what I love to do directly because of other people. Like, I get to work with countless photographers who like work with me for free just because they see skill in me and they want to trade skills with me. And like, that's a huge compliment. So it's now I'm realizing and understanding even more like the value of like a community. And like, I'm seeking it, like for the first time in my life, like I'm seeking out a community. I'm cultivating one and being part of it. And like, I'm like a very solo person, like in general, like I'm kind of like, own wolfie, but that's because like people scared me people scared me for a long time because I have anxiety, and people scared me for a long time, and like so I didn't really want to get close to people because they were really scary, like, and I'm really emotional, so like it was really difficult. But like I'm really grateful to be older and more and calmer and less anxious, and like I still have it, but I manage all of these things, and to have all that stuff finally be pushed out of the way, and for me to be like, like I love this community. Like, I want to be a part of it. I want to give back to it. Like,
I feel like we're at a stage where we know what's going to be worth, or we know the kind of energy we want to bring us. Because I would, there is people that's like, great, I want to work with you. And it's just like, oh, this is not going the way it was. And like, there are reasons why walls were put in place. You still are protecting yourself from certain people. But then now I'm able to be like, oh, let me actually open the door for the people who seem really worth it. And that actually kind of give back that energy. Yeah. And so like, I love the creative team that I have in every avenue now. I'm just like, I would have never expected to have all these people surrounding me today 2 years ago. So it's so exciting to see, and I love seeing them thrive. Like when I see other people I care about succeed, it brings me so much joy. I'm like, I could be poor for the rest of my life, and I'm still so happy that you're living your best life. Like that brings you joy, and that should bring you joy. I feel like that's the biggest difference. Like if you're surrounded by people that you just like envy all the time, I'm like, that's not, to me, I guess it wouldn't satisfy me
if you're around people that you envy all the time, then that's a cue to you that you're not, like jealousy and envy are just signals that you're not giving yourself you're not giving yourself permission to seek something. Give yourself, go get something that you want. Like, So like to me, again, like I think all of those are healthy emotions, but how you respond to them and react to them is very important. So like if you constantly find yourself being jealous, there's a lot of inner work there to do. And it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean anything like that. It just means like, what are you not giving yourself? What do you see in somebody else that you wish was yours that you don't have for whatever reason? And like, I think I talked about this at one point on the podcast, but like before I became a boudoir model, I used to be really jealous of boudoir models. And then I would make up this whole dialogue in my head where I was like, well, like they're a boudoir model. So like, they're a boudoir model because they disrespect themselves and they just want to show off their bodies and they're just being conceited and they're blah, blah, blah. That was all just fucking bullshit for me to disguise. Like, oh, I really wish I was a boudoir model too.
Yeah,
that's what all of that was.
I want to get naked.
And it was like, oh, I wish I had the confidence to get. Oh, I wish I had the confidence to be.
Everybody
oh, I
get
wish I had the
naked.
And then that took me years to figure out. Oh, like the reason that you have this viewpoint is because they're doing something that you wish you could do. So like, bitch, you can do it too. Like
Bitch,
you don't have to
you
be
can do it
jealous.
too. Can that be a sticker, like a bumper sticker?
Bitch, you can do.
You
Honestly,
can do it too.
savage and sexy. Yeah, seriously. Because you can like.
do it too.
And honestly,
I don't
I'm like
know
the
why I keep
poster
going.
child for bitch, you can do it too. Because like if you know anything about my story or where I came from, bitch, you can fucking do it too.
You
like,
can do it too.
and like you don't need to be mad that you're jealous. You don't need to think you're a bad person. Like if anyone tells you're a bad person for being jealous, you can tell them to fuck off because it's a completely normal emotion. But like you got to be responsible for your jealousy. So
Can
like,
I just want to say real
Yes.
quick. So when I started my photography adventure, one of my first photo shoots was with Amanda.
oh yes.
And at the beginning of all that, like to be real, to be truthful, I was super intimidated by you. Super intimidated by her.
That's really
because
nice of
I would
you.
peep her Instagram and was like, wow, these photos are amazing. Like how am I supposed to like compete with that? And I kind of told myself, I was like, well, fuck everybody else. Just kind of do your thing.
Yeah.
And then when I met you at the train station, I'm like, dude, this girl's gonna be like super professional. She's gonna like I'm like way over my head. Way over my head.
Really? Wow,
sure.
that was your first impression. Oh, I'm sorry. I made
sure.
you so uptight. Like I wasn't
For
trying
sure.
to be.
But once we started like shooting and like we got the ball rolling, like everything kind of
Yeah.
sat exactly where it
love
needed
that.
to be. And after that, I'm like, when the shoot was over, I was like, literally, like you made that shit up in your head about Amanda. That you just literally need to get out of your own way and go for exactly what you want. So that was definitely like a lesson that
That's
I took.
I love that. That's amazing. And I think that I feel that way sometimes when I work with people that I feel more advanced than me. And I was
Oh
like,
my
okay,
God.
like, am I going to be up to standards? But then I've had the like that same situation with like someone who was getting into photography, and I was like, I just like your whole energy and your vibe, and I was able to work with her, and it was a lot of fun. Jasmine, she's great. I forget what her Instagram handle is. Something wild, something. I'll share it on the bio.
Is it Wild Ones?
Wild Ones something.
it's
know
Wild Ones.
one of the first people I've been
Is she the one that you did the red with the roses with?
Yes.
Fucking love that shoe.
And the thing is, like, she's, was kind of new to the photography world, and I love it. And I love the opportunity of, like, she asked me for feedback. She's like, hey, I think I could have done better. Like, do you have any feedback on, like, how I did it and this and that? And I was like, being able to have that back and forth of, like, yeah, I've been doing some modeling for a while now, and I do photography for a while, but, like, I'm no different than you.
Yeah.
Like, we're just creating together, and that's what's important. Like, the dynamics between the two or the people working together is what matters. Like, there's no standard or like, oh, this isn't good enough because you don't do all this skin correction, all this stuff. It's like, that doesn't matter.
I totally get it though, like, because I understand like where you're coming from, and I still have like, it's very easy to just get, and I mean, to be fair, like, you're gonna be in your head sometimes, and that's why it's really important to learn how to manage and like how to just like learn how to hear those voices and like get up and do the shoot anyway, and just to like show up and like do it because those voices are usually incorrect, or they're just psyching you out, or they're, and and it's just but I have the same thing. Like I remember when I went to go shoot with Francesco, I was like really excited and horribly nervous though, because I'm like, what if like I get in front of this camera and he doesn't like how I look, or like what if I'm awkward, what if I don't pose well, like what, and like I do this all the time, but like I still will work with, like I still will work with people and still be like, okay, like let me just like check myself though, and like I think it's important, like I don't know, like I know I'm hot, like I know I look good, I know I can pose, I know I can model, but like that doesn't mean shit at the end of the day. Like you can still link up with someone that doesn't like how you work, and like I can be confident in myself, but still be very aware that like I don't know it all, and that there are a lot of people that are better than me, and I'm still trying to learn. And like I think retaining that humility is like it's very important than just being like, oh, I'm a good model, but like I could be a better model.
Always.
Like,
There's always room for improvement. I definitely feel that with like branding commercial shoots, like where I'm like, I'm wearing a bag or I'm wearing shoes. Like, hopefully I'm highlighting this object enough that they want to work with me again. And like still I feel like, oh God, we're in the studio. There's all these different models that are coming from agencies. And I'm just like here, Mrs. Freelance. And I'm like,
dude, as a freelancer, it can be so intimidating.
Everybody else has signed. And I'm just like,
hi, I'm just by myself. And
they found me on Instagram.
I did all of
this.
This
is cool.
Hi.
But like part of it's like, cool. Like I didn't need an agency. They found me. And
it feels
great.
really validating.
But the other half is like, holy shit, hopefully I'm still good enough. And they found me, but they haven't seen me work, and now I have to do it. And like now I've gotten the opportunity of like a lot of companies have used me again, which is super exciting. And then you get to actually meet the people who started and found it, and like they're people. Like they're awesome. And I'm like, I'm already planning a weekend up in Portland just to hang out with the company because I love them.
It's refreshing,
as the owners
right?
and the founders.
I'm sure a few of them felt the same way y'all did too. So.
And that's the thing though. It's like we make up these like, you know, being jealous or intimidated or like being insecure, like it will build a narrative in your head. But like the thing, like circling back, like when I met up with Francesco and we ended up vibing really, really well and became friends, like I was like, shit, like when you find out that these people you look up to and admire and put on a pedestal are just people too. They're just people too. And they don't have shit figured out. They've just been sticking to their guns for longer than you, or they've just gotten used to like the emotional back and forth and ebb and flow of like figuring something out. Like, and it's, I don't know, like I think we put people on pedestals, but it's like when you get on the working level with them and you take away all the titles and the Instagram, like as much as I love Instagram, you take it away and you're just like two people collabing together. Like it's so refreshing just to be like, oh my God, this person is just like a person. Like,
and we vibe really well. And this is exciting to see.
Well, I don't think being nervous is a bad thing though.
I mean, shit, speak for yourself, dude.
No, I don't think being nervous is a bad thing because especially if your intention is to fight through that nervousness and get through it, because that growth comes out of that.
Yeah.
For like,
or feel the fear and do it anyway. That's exactly in line with that. Yeah.
And then you get better for the next situation.
Yeah. And then you also build up internal endurance to be able to handle fear better in the future.
Exactly.
Like you know that you're going to be able to endure it. You know, you can sit with it. You know that like you can still hear yourself through it all. So like it's
like when I work with people with music, like when I first started like doing it outside of like it just being myself, and like let's say like when you guys would be in the room when I'm recording, I'd be nervous. Like, oh, I'm not used to doing. I'm not used to doing this in front of people, so I would do it in front of Big Richie.
I get that.
I do it in front of Big Richie and JQ, and then like
that's good,
I got through that, and then I start with other people that I've ended up doing music with. I'd still be nervous, but now it's just like I can't be nervous because I can't let it show in the song. For the sake of the song that's being worked on, I can't.
Do you still feel nerves, or do you feel like it's reduced? It's reduced considerably since you've been practicing it.
It's reduced a lot because I know I have to do what I got to do to get the song right.
I feel like anybody. Well, me personally, actually, I'm sorry. When I'm nervous, instead of fighting me being nervous, it's like don't be nervous, don't be nervous. It just lasts longer. Yeah. It just keeps.
Well, if you push against an emotion, it fights. It literally fights back. It will fight back. Yeah.
Lately, like the last 2 years, when I do get nervous, and I do get nervous a lot.
Anxiety, LOL.
Instead of fighting it, I was like, all right, why don't you just let it take over?
Yeah.
And once you let it take over, it's still there.
I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give
it lasts way less.
That's what I love her about.
So.
Yeah,
that's like a technique.
No, and like I think
that's facts though.
Yeah,
that's adjacent to what we were talking. Yeah, it's just letting yourself feel it, like letting yourself sit with it, knowing
feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yeah, like knowing that like you can handle nervousness. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to ruin anything. But like it can be there. It can be present with you.
Y'all weren't nervous singing?
I get nervous singing. Yeah.
Y'all didn't get nervous? No, you were pissing. But we brought back up like how just being nervous for stuff, and I was talking about like I used to get really nervous like working with people with music because when you're not everything gets done in one take, and like there's gonna be times where I'm gonna sound like shit, and that person's gonna hear me sound like shit. So that used to be in my head all the time, but just fighting.
I think with you guys here in this room, like I don't feel as nervous because I know that I fucking love you regardless.
Yeah, and we know that there's no heavy judgment.
There's no heavy judgment per se. So I feel like when we create it could be anything. I can sound like shit. I'm like, oh, gotta do that again. But like I was telling you earlier, I showed my roommate.
And you got nervous. You got that
Stephanie,
tingly feeling.
I'm so proud of that song, but I just was like playing it for her and like sitting there.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
what do you think?
And she's just like taking it in. And I'm just like,
oh God, yeah, just sitting with it.
What's on your mind? What are you thinking about? What's going on?
It's awkward showing people your music.
Yeah.
But she loved it. She was just like, oh, so she's like, she was so confused. She's like, where did this song like come from? I don't understand. She's like, well, we just made it. She's like, yeah, but where did the lyrics come from? Like, who did the lyrics?
We
awesome.
made it.
We did.
all
Like,
did,
I helped with. I was like, I'm proud because I helped. I had the hook and I did some of the melody. She's
I took your melody.
But
too.
she's like, what? But. Like, it just came out of nowhere. And I was like, yeah. She's like, it's good. She's like, well, are you like going to share it?
She's so confused.
She's like, it sounds like something I would play on the radio. And I was like, yeah, that's the point.
That's
She's
awesome.
like, so you're going to put it out there, right? Like, you're going to, you got to, she's like, you got to do something
I said
with
thank
it.
you, by the way.
Yeah.
But she was like, one, surprised, and then like offended that I didn't share it yet. She's like, why isn't this on Spotify? Like, why isn't this out? Like, why aren't you putting it out? I was like,
That's
I
hilarious.
just got it this week. Oh my God. I was like, but I was so nervous at first. I was like, oh my God, here's this thing that like someone I'm not used to, she'll see me being super weird because we live together. But like, I'm not used to
This is personal, though. This is a
sharing my
deeply
creative
personal
side,
thing.
like
Yeah.
with you guys, where I could just be creative in this safe bubble.
Yeah.
Now it's like,
once you share it, that's when the
it's
nerves
like when we
kick
first
in.
started the podcast. It's like everyone's gonna know I'm on my big areolas.
Yeah, coming in hot. First episode coming in strong.
Rich, I got
Especially
a
when
question
they're starting.
for you too, Steph. When you guys are like showing your pictures or whatever creative thing, well, you pretty much just touched on that stuff. But Rich, when you show like your pictures to somebody that's never seen any of your stuff, and you go and you present it, do you get nervous? Like,
Yeah.
do you start like spiraling? Like, oh, what are they gonna think?
No, I definitely do get nervous. But what I'll do is that, which is the opposite of what I just said earlier. I'll like shut down. I was like, shut down.
You're like, no feelings.
No
None.
feelings. So
None.
turn off your feelings because it's only going to get worse.
That is funny.
And then I'll like, but it never actually works. That's the thing. It doesn't work because I'm a very emotional person.
Yeah.
And so I'll show my photos to the person, but I'll look at their facial reaction, and depending on like the raise of an eyebrow or like pulling the screen backwards to really like look at it is like those are like
twitch
really
in the
good.
lip.
Oh yeah, or that one too. So it's always nerve wracking, and sometimes I get a little nervous about people like almost like. I don't know how to say like lying. It's like, oh yeah, they're great.
Dude, I feel that. Yeah, like they're
'cause
just
they, like,
placating
when
you.
you-
Yeah, I
We're
get
trying
nervous
to
about
justify
that
whether or not they're
too.
just being nice or they actually like
exactly.
it. And I'm
No,
like,
that's why
you can
there's
tell
like
me
a
if it's not
select.
good.
Yeah, I hate that. Like, there's like a select few that I send my music to because I just know I'm gonna get the most honest opinion. Big Richie is one of them. That's why I get nervous sending you songs because you tell me right away.
You know,
Like,
you know,
actually
yeah.
like it.
This is trash.
And he's like, I'm not
You gotta work on the hook.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think this is your best. I'm like, damn, I really love this song.
Yeah.
Bad, dude. No, but it's all
But
good.
you know it's coming from a
'cause I can
place of
yeah.
love.
'Cause I can
and
show
then
it to
actually,
you
like,
And vice versa, by the way.
I can show it to you and then show it to
Yeah.
Q, and then he'll have a whole different
right.
opinion
But
on
I
it.
like that. Like I have. Okay, and you're one of the people I send everything to because I'm like, I know you'll be honest. You're like, oh, this
Yeah.
sounds good, or try this, or try that. Because it's like, I might send it to like my mom, and she's like, I love it. It's like, no,
No.
you love
No.
everything I do.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. You know what I mean? Like you have those people where you know they're not saying it.
They're
to
gonna be real
rude.
with
They're
you.
gonna
Yeah.
be real. Like they're
Yeah.
actually saying it because they want you to be your best self.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because you know where you're gonna get from certain people. So the
and
reason
they seem at your best too, so they know what to compare it to.
exactly.
And-
Like when it's funny. Like when JQ sends me his music, he knows like 9 out of 10 times I'm gonna know where he's trying to get with the song. Like he'll send me shit that's like only like 4 bars deep. But right away I kind of know where he's trying to get at with the song. So he does that. We have like that trust where like we know what we're trying to do. Like we understand each other creatively. So I don't know. I think it is just like a safe space between like friends, like creatively. It's really awesome.
I'm gonna say I think it's really important to have that.
I love that, like Steph, you bounce off me now because this is like a new person that bounce ideas off. It's really cool.
It's like very important though to have places where you feel safe to fail. I think that's so like to give because a lot of people get really in their head about failing or making a mistake or looking dumb or not being perfect, and it's like it's so important to not only get good at failing and to get comfortable with failure, but to allow yourself to do it in front of other people and not have it fucking destroy you.
Yeah, like a part of like, okay, I'm failing and now I'm doing it alone. Because you're then thinking like, what could I have done better? Or what this and that? And like being able to have people that you feel safe enough with to be like, I'm going to try this thing. I might not be good at it. But then be like, oh, hey, they'll give you a perspective you didn't see coming. It helps you feel like you're not alone, which is always sucks. It's like, okay, I'm the only one failing out here. It's like, no, you're not. Like you have a team of people who believe in you and are there to help you on those steps if you need it.
And they like don't judge you any lesser. It's like you need people that you don't have to be perfect in front of. And like everyone knows that. But like I mean that in like the most like it's people where you can laugh at yourself in front of them, like where you're like, oh, I fucked that up. Like, okay. And you're not just going to be like, oh, I suck right away. Like, oh, okay, yeah, like whatever. Like, cool, let's move on now. Like, because I know so many people are like, oh, they just start, like, they spiral. They make a mistake, and other people see it, they spiral. And it's like, yeah, it fucking sucks to make a mistake, but like, if you let yourself fail in front of other people and you give space for it, like, you can literally just get up and be like, oh, that's fine, want to try again.
Honestly,
it doesn't have to be a production. Like,
no, it doesn't.
I love that so much, like, people being honest, like, straight up with you about your work. Like,
yeah,
it's so much better.
I'm mad grateful
politely
for, like,
though, because I will say if you're a dick about it, I don't like that.
I mean, your friends aren't going to do that.
No,
usually when it's coming from a good place.
Yeah.
I mean, I was very lucky. I was very lucky to have my sister growing up. I didn't see it at the time because she's very. She got straight A's. She's very like golden child-esque. Even though I know she's flawed and you know we're in a really good place now, but growing up when everyone else was like telling me I need to be more like her, she was the only one saying, "Be yourself."
Oh wow,
do you?
Oh, that's awesome.
So like at that time, I was just like, shut up, golden child. Like, of course you're telling me to do this, but like everybody else is telling me I need to do this, or why don't you get straight A's, or why don't you be a doctor, why don't you do this stuff? But like looking back at it now, it's like, thank God I had her, because I would have never went to school for photography. I would have never done that, because she was the only person that's like, if you love to do it, fucking do it.
It's like she was like,
do that thing.
She was kind of the catalyst for you to really. Well, I mean, because if you think about it, like she gave you like a reference point to juxtapose and like really be yourself, because you weren't like her at all. And it was like pointed out to you that you weren't like her.
And it was so weird. It was like I was always living in her shadow, and to the point where I was just like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to do my own thing. And she's right. She's my number one cheerleader, my number one fan. I can easily say all the time. She's like tells me all the time, and I'm like so thankful for that. And I wish I don't regret a lot of things, but I do wish I would have recognized that earlier to be a little bit kinder to her.
I don't think you were supposed to. But I don't think you were. I don't think you were supposed to. But
get away from me! She's like, let me love you, and I was like, no.
Because like if you think about it, you guys were kind of both like victims of that. Because like if people like be more like your sister, it's not her fault that people are saying like they literally put her into that role too.
Yeah, and then
she's like, I
started to understand the pressures of being a first child and needing to be successful to like pave the way, where it's like I probably got away with a lot more because I wasn't the first one. I was like, I do what I want. Yeah. But she was like, I can't do what I want. I have to do X, Y, and Z. So like being able to understand that, and then know that she was still supporting me, and still to this day is always like, I'm so proud of you. Do you and do all this stuff, and like, you're too nice to me. Aww. Sometimes I want to punch myself in the face to be like, I love you. So I should
she's such an important part.
There are still things I won't share necessarily. She can only take so much at a time. I'm a little bit more open and free than she is. But I love that she loves me regardless, and will like encourage me to do those things that normally I wouldn't feel that.
That's a blessing.
That is a blessing.
I've honestly like been thinking about that a lot, of like having that I've been really blessed in that sense. And then being able to find people and connection who are to that level of sister, like when I can call you family to that level, it's a real compliment because I already had this really great example of a support system.
Yeah.
And then I can find people like you guys where I feel that same kind of connection where it's like, regardless of what I do, failing or not failing, you're going to love me, you're going to support me, you're going to be there for me. And I love that. I love being able to have that.
Yeah, it's honestly a treasure because I don't have siblings at all. So like for me to learn how to fail was kind of like necessary for me because I didn't have anybody kind of helping me get up and I'm very critical. So like it took me a long time to realize that it was okay if I looked stupid or didn't get it right or and luckily I learned that pretty quickly because like now I can just be like, all right, like yeah, like that wasn't so good, but like let's not fucking rip ourselves a new one. Let's just get up and like but like it's been really helpful to like honestly like hang out with you and like hang out with other people that like can laugh at themselves more because like I don't think I've talked about this, but like I consider myself to be like a very serious person or like even Richie being like when I first met Amanda, she intimidated me and like was gonna be wicked. I'm like that's probably because I'm so fucking serious. Like I don't know
this serious Amanda that she's because you're like one of the people that has like really helped bring out that side because like I'm like fun and like I'm playful and stuff, but like normally I'm very like directed, driven. I don't like nonsense. Like I don't like to waste my time. I'm very like I'm super intense. So like I can be very critical and like I've spent most of my life being hyper critical of myself, like to the point where it was damaging. Like because I hated myself at one point, and so it's been really nice and refreshing to like be in my 30s and like meet people where I'm like I feel like I've met people in the last 2 years that have really helped me just like make a lot of space to like just
so much space
be a person and like because I'm like a perfectionist, so like not as much. I still have perfectionist tendencies, but like to laugh at myself
you,
or
like,
these
it
reels
doesn't
like
need to be perfect.
it
can
no,
still be
no.
beautiful.
No, and I'm learning that now too. Like, and I remember in art school, that was like one of my main critiques that they would give me is like they would interview me about like what I wanted to do as an artist and like how I felt about my progression that semester. And like I'd be looking at all my work from like the last 4 months, and they'd be like, "Well, tell me what you see and like tell me what you think about your work and blah 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 blah." And like I would sit there and be like, "Well, like I just want to be better and like this is like blah and this is blah blah blah." And like literally afterwards, they would be like, "Amanda, like." Stuff isn't supposed to be perfect all the time. Like sometimes you just need to do stuff for the sake of doing it. Like you need to like take the pressure off. Like just, not everything has to be like immaculate and amazing. Cause like all my work was up there and like it was fucking impressive. And they were like, what the fuck? Like,
And your shit's impressive.
and you're
If
like
you have not
shitting on
seen her
yourself.
stuff,
And
literally look at it. Because anytime you show me something, I'm just like, how the fuck? What? Like this
but I
came
know
out
that
and
now.
you're like,
I know that
yeah.
now because I can see it now. But like literally, when I tell you I got out of art school and was like literally like, all this is trash. I need to make entirely new work because nobody will buy any of this. And then 5 years later, I went back in my portfolio and I was like,
this is great.
I can sell this stuff. What? I'm a fucking psycho. Like literally, I'm like, you are crazy, Amanda. Like, and now I'm like,
psycho.
all right, we need to calm down a little bit. Like,
on the inside.
not so serious. Like, let's just like, and I like that. No, life has been a lot better without me like gripping my throat, being like, make sure it's perfect all the time. So like, it's been honestly extremely liberating and necessary for somebody like me. So
Yeah, I love that.
yeah.
I love that. Have you ever considered painting with your own blood?
No. But you know what? I'll think about it. I'll give it the good old college try.
I want to too.
Is that the cue?
Next time on Savage and Sexy, grab a knife and a fucking a sheet of Bristol board because we are going to do some bloodletting.
We're gonna do some bloodletting.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't tell you guys how I almost died.
Oh my god! She texted us the other day that she almost
Catch us next
died.
time.
Wait, I need to know. Wait, did you
That could be the
really?
cliffhanger. That
Did
could be
you
the
really
cliffhanger.
almost die?
Well, I don't know. But
Wait, is this the bear thing that you texted?
No, I didn't text a bear thing. You texted bear thing. Somebody texted a bear thing. It wasn't me.
That was you
I
in the
didn't
group
run
chat.
over a bear.
No, but you.
I was like, did you run over a baby animal?
No,
you said something about a bear death.
No, there are no bears harmed in the making of this.
Y'all, she's
Just almost
lying.
deaths.
She texted something about a bear death.
I didn't text anything about a bear.
You straight lying on the mic, yo.
I didn't know. You said, "Oh, watch, she ran over a baby bear," and I was like, "I would never." I said I would wrestle one, and I would likely lose.
Go ahead, Amanda.
Yeah, justify me, bitch. I'm right. Justify me, bitch.
Hold on. I'm getting to it.
This is crazy.
Oh, God, I still want to talk about how I almost died.
I know, we're going to get there. We're waiting on bated breath. Hold on.
Oh, there's so many times.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, what did it say?
She said...
Mm-hmm. What did it say?
Hold on. I have to find... Okay, so Steph says... I see why I understand what happened now. She said... Just had a funny bear death experience. Remind me to tell you on Sunday, LOL. And then Baldwin says,
I said a bear.
She ran over a baby bear on purpose. Fucked up.
Okay,
all right, so that was me being stupid. I missed
She did say bear death, though.
Okay.
But it auto-corrected
Got
from
it.
It
mere
did
death.
autocorrect. All right. See, I don't
I'm
remember
sorry
that.
for
Ready?
accusing you of
I
lying.
was wondering where the bear came from. I was like, what are you talking about? I ran over a baby bear.
bears.
What the fuck? I was
Wait,
like,
that's
that's hella
not. Is that
rude.
spelled the same way?
Bear, B-E-A-R,
Bear, and then the way she used it.
near. Oh, no. She was trying to say near death, but
I
it
meant
changed
say
it to
near
bear death.
and it changed to a bear
Oh,
death.
okay. So there was a spell check.
Yeah.
Okay.
If anyone's had a bear death experience, let us know.
Please, yeah, what is that?
If you're still
She's
here.
dead.
If you're still here.
When I read bear, I'm like, what the hell? How did she encounter a bear?
Has anyone seen the documentary Grizzly Man? No.
No, what is that?
I know someone watching has seen it. Fucked up, right?
We'll talk about it next time.
Bear
so
death,
this is even
fucked
enough,
up. Okay.
honey. Now I feel like it's been
Did I fuck it up? I fucked it up.
elevated.
Tell us.
So me and my roommate Steph, what's up? She's my friend.
You're both named
You guys are
Steph?
both Stephs?
Yeah, we talked about this. No one ever listens to me. We're both Stephanies. We have dogs. We're both Hispanic. We have the same car, but a different year.
Wow. That's crazy.
And we live together.
That's nuts.
We're great. And we are going to like start a podcast of ourselves called Bitches in the Morning. And which we have to talk to you, Baldwin, about.
Bitches in the morning.
And we were talking about unexpected dicks. Okay. So
This is so funny. Why hasn't this been brought to me?
Surprise members.
I was going to talk to you today about it. But so whatever, you don't need the backstory. Talking about
gotcha.
unexpected dicks and yada yada. It was hilarious. I was talking about our podcast being the coochie of podcasts because everyone's trying to get in. And
Oh my God,
That's-
can that be our tagline? The Coochie of podcast.
it's already taken. So
That's gold.
I was like chatting about it. I'm in my room. We're having, dinner. I'm in the kitchen and I have like this scarf thing, but I had like loose little bunny scarves. And I was like, ha ha ha, I'm fucking hilarious. And then part of the scarf goes into my mouth somehow and gets stuck in my throat. And I literally start choking
That's
on
crazy.
a scarf. And I'm like, and like,
Bro, only you.
that moment when you're not
only she can do that.
You know that moment where you're really not sure what the fuck's happening? Like, it wasn't like, oh my God, I almost fell. It was just like, holy shit, am I dying? And so I was like, and I started like coughing and I fell on the ground. And my roommate was like, what the? She started dying laughing and I was like, she's like, did you almost just literally choke on your head wrap? And I was like, yes. So my life flashed before my eyes. I was literally choking on a piece of fabric that was
Did she
holding my hair
Heimlich
back.
you or did you just pull it out?
I literally pulled it out, but like I was like I sucked in at the right moment where it just went into my throat, and I was like, and then I coughed it out, and I was like, and she was like, what the fuck? Because ironically, we were talking about how
Dude.
I know I'm gonna die some stupid ass death, like falling down the stairs or whatever, and I was like, that was almost it. 1,000 ways to die. That's me. I was like, imagine if she had to call my mother and be like, your daughter's dead because she choked on a
If you
fucking
died
head
that
wrap.
way, I'd be so pissed. I'd be sad.
I'm sorry.
But I'd be so pissed.
I
I'm
was
like,
just gonna
fucking
say,
Steph, why'd you
I
die
feel like I
that?
would laugh a little bit. I'm sorry. I would be like, of course.
That's what she said. She's
is
like,
how it happens
you
to
would die
her.
because she's
Of
like,
course.
honestly, I couldn't even think of saving you because I was laughing so hard because your face was so shocked that you were actually thinking you were dying this way. And I was like, yep, I knew it was going to happen. It's going to fucking get me one
Your
day.
fear of death was hilarious to me.
You probably don't want to wear scarves no more.
Well, that's why it's double. Dude,
you better double tie that.
Little ears this time. Little ears.
Dude, is that the scarf?
Yeah, this fucking thing almost
That's
killed
the
me.
scarf that did it.
Almost killed.
And you wore it
crazy.
again?
Well, it's like I like
Because she's
it.
savage and she's sexy.
Oh my
But can you imagine that call my mom would get? Your
Dude.
daughter died because she choked on her head.
Can you imagine your obituary? Oh,
I mean, that would be hilarious.
my God.
Please write me a funny one.
Can I?
I don't want it to be sad. I want it
Can
to be
we put a
funny as
handkerchief around your neck and a headscarf on you if it succeeds?
If it takes me,
we know
yeah.
that thing wants to kill
I
you.
want this in the newspaper if it takes me. Fucking famous. It's like the famous scarf that took SBO.
That honestly would fucking happen to you. Do you guys know what the Darwin Awards are? Do you guys know what the Darwin Awards are?
No.
That is a Okay, you guys don't know what the Okay, so every single year, every single year,
life.
they release the Darwin Awards, which are literally the stupidest ways people died the last year.
Oh my God, I want to be on it.
So literally, like, that would have been a Darwin Award. You would have won a Darwin Award. Good job.
Oh my God, if there's anything
They do have honorable
I can
mentions.
do in my death is just like win one of those for like myself.
Wait,
Yeah.
ready? Steph.
Hey.
Who would you like to thank for this post-mortem Darwin Award?
Hey, what's up? Coming at you from heaven. What up? I'm still
Are
at the
you
gate.
sure you're in heaven?
Well, I'm still at the gate. They won't let me in, but I'm gonna post up till Jesus comes down because we homies. And I just want to thank that scarf for giving me, getting stuck in my throat. I want to thank my dog for just staring at me. My roommate Stephanie for laughing too hard that she couldn't save my life, and my mama for bringing me into this world. So yeah, we out here. I'll be back to haunt y'all later. Still trying to get in.
That is wild.
Still trying to get in.
Honestly,
That's wild.
I think we're out. I think we're good.
I think we're good.
And
Yeah.
on that note,
Remember to double knot your headscarves.
yes, don't choke.
Keep it sexy with your self-perception and savage with your self-development.
Hopefully we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye. Savage and Sexy is presented by A Vibe Entertainment and produced by Baldwin. The only reason we got this far, because y'all know we ain't got our shit together. The Savage and Sexy is self-funded. If you like the show and want to support us, subscribe to our Patreon, The Savage and Sexy, or donate on Anchor and GoFundMe. You can find us on Instagram, The Savage and the Sexy. Email us at thesavageandthesexy@gmail.com. Thank you for being savage and sexy with us, and we'll see you next time.